Oh wow, check this out. Hoo hoo hoo. That aluminum brightener. Wow, look at this. I screwed this all up because I had put sealer on all of these little rivets like this. That Loctite Marine, because I was going to paint this. So I started to take it off and kind of screwed it up where it doesn't really blend in anymore, because pain in the ass getting that Loctite Marine off. It's good stuff. It looks like it's been friggin' painted. And you see all the green old glue from the carpet? Man, it's taking that out too. That's incredible. Wow, look at that. It looks like freaking white paint. I don't have to paint it. Hee hee. Yeah, I got over here and took this off, then stopped right here. I said, screw it. It's just too much. It'll blend in, you know, after everything tarnishes up a little bit. But it's great stuff, man. The aluminum brightener. There's a couple different brands out there. And you got to do it in the shade, not direct sun. That might have been the reason why it quit. It didn't do this, because it was out in the hot sun. So I'll move my umbrella up. Do it again. Wow. I can't believe it. It really does work. I've seen the videos. Most people use it on their pontoon boats. There's, any aluminum boat. It looks good. All right. So I think I know what's going on with Little Miss 20 horse, finally. All right, so what happened? I put a thing in the description. I said, hey, this thing, it looks like the butterfly was doing this. Every time I pulled on it, if I had the choke pulled out, you could see the butterfly doing this. And I'm like, wow, that's weird. So I zoomed in on it and took these still shots from the video and confirmed it, but nobody read the description. So finally, this one guy named Mark, he gets on there and he says, man, could it be the choke butterfly is in upside down? And I'm like, something has happened. So when I was messing around with those 80s carbs, and my primer pump, finally put that $100 primer pump in here, and it lasted a few days because the O-rings were old, and I said, the hell with it. I took it all out, put the original type carb back in. It wasn't the original carb, it was a perfect match for the original though. The original carb was nasty. So ever since then is when all this stuff keeps occurring. So it has to be, when I put that thing back in, the choke is in upside down, which makes no sense to me. But you can see it flickering. The sun was in the right place, the camera was in the right place. Every time I pulled it with the choke closed, you see this light going flip, 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 flip. It was just fluttering in the wind, so to speak. And I said, man, I didn't even know you could put one in upside down. And I remember too, I swapped that butterfly for a nicer one. The one that was in this carb was a little crusty, rusty. And I found a nicer one and I swapped it out. So somewhere in there, something got turned around or something. Like I said, I didn't know you could actually put one in upside down. So when I got his comment, I was like, wow, somebody finally read the description and had the same problem, had the exact same problem. The hard starting, the this, the that, the ding, the ding, the ding, the ding. That's what the problem has been with this thing, because when I had the 80s carbs on here, this thing was purring. It was nice. easy start. And some days I'd come out here, first pull. I'm like, man, surprised it started first pull. So I'm going to pull this thing apart right now and check it out and see just what the heck, how it's in there upside down. I don't know. Obviously, that's got to be what happened, because you can see it. It's hanging out of the front of the car, going like this. The sun was somewhere in the right spot, and it was flashing off the sun. And I'm like, man, what the heck is that? I didn't notice it till the last minute. I always do my little captions at the very last edit. And, you know, I'm going through my captions, and then, you know, I hit the play button, and I'm like, oh man, choke it again. I pull the choke out, and I see this something glittering, you know, fluttering and bright. I said, what is that? And that was what I was just heading out here too. Let me set the camera up again, go out here and pull on it and see if it does it again. So choke it, but how can it be? Yeah, I have to take this silencer off. How can it be doing that? I mean, it's pretty tight. But that's what it's doing. It's opening like that and going flop, 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 flop. But how can it do that with the choke on? I can't get a finger in there. I have to take all this off. Yay! So I won't be able to choke it though. Yeah, see, it's doing this. Flop, 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 flop. But it's not upside down. It can't be upside down. There's choke. Flop, 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 flop. Look at this. That's a lot of tension to be able to pull this thing like this. Go flop, 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 flop. And like I said, how on earth can it be in upside down? Well, let me see if I can tie that off and try it. I'll just tie it off with this old rubber hose. Flap, 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 flap. Let's position the camera back here. See, that's the other thing too, back here, you know, it's shady, and just happening to get lucky. The camera pointing at the right spot, the sun in the right spot. Now I should be able to see it, but yep, it sure is. So every time I'm trying to choke fuel down, it's opening up and sucking air. That is amazing. Now, is that standard? I've never seen it before. Wow. And that's just thump, you know, that's just a couple of thumps. Watch it. I don't know. I can't say it's right or it's wrong. I've never seen that happen. So I don't know. But you open that baby up, see all the fuel in there I'm always talking about? It just pulls fuel right out of that bowl with no problem at all. And if this thing is going to be open, the air is just going to go right over the fuel. But with this closed, it should be sucking it in. Now, is the spring not tight enough? Is that the problem? I do remember putting this thing on. I had to wind that spring or do something. But I never thought in a million years it was that loose. I mean, look at it. Seems like a normal Normal deal to me. But it could be loose. Let me try to tighten it. Here comes the pain in the ass part. So I have to take this off, wind that thing up a little bit more, get some tension on it. I can't believe that, you know, it's able to suck this thing. That's how good this thing is. So this carb, the tension and stuff on this stuff is pretty much good. Just felt a little crappy. When I was trying to find a carb for this, the original carb was a piece of junk. So I picked the one with the same size venturi and, you know, the closest thing I could get. So during the transition, the rod that goes here is right here. It's been sitting on my desk all this time. When I took it off, I said, I don't think I need that anymore. And the original adjustment was back here where you unscrewed the screw and you couldn't get to it. So that was the other reason I went for this carb. I may have even put this piece in. So this is original here. So I shouldn't have to worry about the adjustment there. And then I got to get that rod back in for this style of carb. I'll show you over here. But you see how this rod fits in right here. So over there I need one of these little holders. Then this one has this, remember I was bitching about this type, pain in the ass to try to get these things where you want them. So when you pull this carb out, or this choke out, this pushes this forward and holds it butterfly tighter. And in some cases it looked like it was giving it a little bit of opening too. And when you release it, it's back to normal again. So you pull the choke on, choke closes, this rod pushes this upwards. So I need to get a couple more pieces, put this thing back together the way it's supposed to go. And I think that's going to solve the issue. Alright, so I'm swapping these springs out. Let's see if I get a little more tension out of them. They both look better. And to be totally honest, what I just went through was not fun. So, start all over again. I had actually broke this spring, so I said, let's just replace it. And I said, yes, let's just replace both of them. All right, this has to go. Let me just take this thing out of there first. Or maybe I can leave it on. Let's see. I've already done this 3 frickin' times. Alright, that spring has to go in that hole. That has to go behind that lever. This has to come on here. The washer needs to go on the end of the screw. And the screw needs to start screwing in the hole. And this is where it gets stuck. This rod should be going all the way through, but it has that lip on it. And gets, there we go. Whew. Pain in the butt. Let's get her. There we go. She lined up now. But the other spring has to be in the hole. So it's all got to work in one motion. This is what I was talking about, what I've already went through. Start over. Get the spring in the hole. See if I can get all this crap to slide down first. There we go. Get the washer on. There we go. Get the threads going. There we go. Everything's still together except for this piece. Might have to wind this one up a little bit, which ain't gonna be fun. That's how I broke the last one. Yeah, this needs to be way up here. So I gotta take this end out that anchors it in. Like that. And wind it around one time. If I can. Probably need something better than all this to do it, maybe. Where'd it go? I can't see. Where the hell? There it is. Ah, shit. I'm probably going to end up breaking this one too. God bless America. You got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. It's just one spring, one trip around, and it has to be a major pain in the ass. Here she comes. Yay. Now that's got to go in the hole. And the side right there. I did it. Freaking pain in the ass. Now we're in business. Every spring I put in has got that light of attention. I was thinking too if I could wrap this around one more time. And I tried it, but it didn't seem to work. I'm going to try it again. It may work, it may not, I don't know. I had a hook on it. I was trying to pull it through. And it did not want to come through. It would get so far. I think I'm going to leave it alone. So like I said before, if this thing is going to flutter like a butterfly, then I guess it's meant to flutter like that. Because there's nothing I can do to get that to work. Also, let me get the rod back in. So that's working properly again. So when you choke it, this rod pushes this in. Let's see if it holds it. I don't think it does. I think I already tried this. Nope, it's just gonna have to be that way. There's still fuel in there, look at that. And that's what I was talking about a little while ago. Every time I just go, it sucks that fuel right up in there. And this thing usually gets flooded. I mean, it's wet, you can see that. But this thing opening up like that, I'm like, is she sucking too much air and the fuel is just sitting there? Because that's what seemed to be going on. It shouldn't be that hard to start. All right, that's going to do it for me. That's all I can do. Unfortunately, nothing is upside down or, took a shot at it and see if anything like that would be possible. But it's not. But now maybe something might change, that this rod is on there and something might change. But I can't, this motor is useless if you have to pull on it so much when it just shouldn't be happening. All right, I'm gonna clean up my mess.
This old outboard ain't seen the light of day since Grandma took Grandpa's bass boat away. Get her running and get on down the line, purring like a kitten and sounding fine. I gotta get this old outboard running. No time to be laying around sunning. I'll take it apart and see what is what, and clean off the muck from each bolt and nut. Take time to test it, maybe fishing too, then making these videos just for you.
It's this old outboard, baby. You know the channel. Oh yeah, baby.